What's up, guys? So a lot of us probably think we know everything about social media because, especially if you're in my generation, you've pretty much been raised with it. I got my first MySpace account when I was like 12 or 11, something like that. Before that, I was on Zanga, LiveJournal, social networking it up. I thought I knew everything. So a lot of us probably think that, you know, we can do this stuff in our sleep. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that's just absolutely not true. So I'm going to talk about 5 things that a lot of people do wrong on social media and a couple ways to fix those things. These are things that I've seen from my years of working with clients and also just like being a person on social media. So this is going to be a great video for people who either are looking to get started with a social media plan for their business or brand, or for people who are like me, who do social media and things like that professionally. These are really great things to look out for. So the first thing I want to talk about is just no strategy. Like, a lot of people just start a social media account and have absolutely no strategy behind it. That's completely fine if you are just a person. Like, just my personal accounts, my personal Facebook account, I have no strategy behind that. I post whatever the heck I want. It ranges from politics to, you know, just my personal life to everything in between. That's totally fine. But if you're a brand or a personal brand, you need to have some kind of a guideline of like what your end goal is. What is the objective? Is the objective just awareness, brand awareness? Do you want to just be known more? Do you want to convert people over to, for my example, you know, watching my videos? Do you want to convert people over to sales of courses or of coaching programs? Do you want to just engage in dialogue? Like, what is the end goal? So that all goes into strategy. But what I recommend doing is just starting with the basic content calendar. So like, what kinds of content do you want to share? There are plenty of templates available online for these. Number 2, megaphone syndrome, as I like to call it. So social media is called social media because it's supposed to be social. You're supposed to talk to people. It's supposed to be a two-way street. I hate that there are creators out there, and I understand that some people have to turn off comments from like Instagram and YouTube for, you know, safety reasons or because they're getting bullied or whatever. But if you just don't like dealing with them, that's not really doing it right. You know, if you don't have a good reason for turning them off or for not responding to them, you're not really doing it right. I totally understand the people who have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers and that they might not be able to respond to every single person, but you need to at least be dedicating a little bit of time each day or week or whatever to go through and at least engage with some people. If you want to just be seen and not have to respond, try to get on TV, try to get in the movies, try to get on radio. I guess radio is a little bit more two-way street because people usually call in and stuff, but there's other traditional media that you should be looking into. You don't want to do YouTube or you don't want to do Instagram or Twitter or whatever if you only want to spout out your opinion. That's just not a good way to gain a following. I mean, of course people do it and people do have a lot of followers who do that. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's not really what it was intended for. And especially if you're a business owner or you're looking to get your users, your followers to do something, it's going to help you build up that relationship if you actually have conversations with people, if you actually do outbound communication. So let's say, for example, I am a retailer, I'm a store in Detroit. I would be looking for fashion bloggers. I would be looking through fashion hashtags for Detroit, like Detroit fashion or Detroit blogger, looking through those hashtags, following those people, replying to those people's tweets or Instagram posts, liking their stuff, because that's going to build my brand awareness in my area. Like, if you just post pictures and wait for people to come to your business, you're gonna be waiting a really long time, let me tell you. Number 3, focusing on vanity metrics. This is probably like the most annoying thing that I see everybody doing. And I honestly, I don't know how many Instagram followers I have. I keep losing Twitter followers. I don't know why, but I really don't care. Go. If you don't like what I'm posting, if I don't make you excited about doing something or learning something or watching something from me, then go. You're not, you know, doing anything for my business if you're just sitting there ignoring every upload that I post, ignoring every tweet that I post. You know, like, I know that it's really easy to categorize yourself and to rank yourself based on the amount of subscribers you have, the amount of followers you have, but those are not the numbers that matter. Even things like views, I really don't care that much about views, because if I only get 100 views per video, but I'm getting a 40, 50, 60% conversion rate when I sell a course, I don't care. Give me 100 views because my courses are gonna, like, that's what's paying me. Do you know what I mean? So what I recommend, if you're working with a client, if you are a business, whatever, look at the metrics that matter for your business. Follower numbers probably don't matter to your business, to your bottom line, right? What I would guess matters is financial numbers. So pay attention to those and figure out how you can link your social media goals to that. So you can put tracking links on things to see where exactly these sales are coming from, if they're coming from social or if they're coming elsewhere. If your goal is just brand awareness and getting more people to know about your brand, then still followers isn't going to be necessarily what you want to look at. You're going to want to be looking at reach and engagement. How many people are you touching? How many people's news feeds are you getting into? How many people are learning about your brands through social? So setting those SMART goals is going to help you. And seriously, people buy followers all the time. It's something that I just really don't care about. So don't get wrapped up in that, seriously. The number one thing that will make me say no to a client who's like, hey, I'm interested in social media. How many followers can you get me? I know we're probably not going to work together, because I don't do that. I tell my clients straight up, I don't care how many followers you have, to be honest. I mean, obviously it is one small indicator of success. I'm not going to lie and say that, you know, getting 10,000 followers isn't an achievement in some way, but it's not the only thing that matters. So yeah, if somebody asked me to grow their followers by 10,000 in a week, wipe my hands of that client. We're not going to work together because we have different goals. And yours are based on vanity metrics and mine are based off of results. Real, tangible results. You dig? Number 4, inconsistency. You have to post regularly. End of story. For all of these platforms, I'm so bad at this. Like my Facebook page is like crickets. It's so bad. It is the worst Facebook page on the planet. Wow, my hair was in my shirt the whole time. Yeah, so you have to be consistent. You have to post regularly if you want those channels to grow, if you want your message to be spread. I mean, social media posts have a shelf life of like 0 time. I don't even know what the stat is, but they don't have a long shelf life. You know, even videos on YouTube, these are old within like a couple days. People are like, oh, that video, like that's old. That's been sitting in my stuff box for days. I'm not gonna go watch it now. So you have to make sure that you're posting regular content. And I'm not saying that you have to post every day, especially on something like YouTube where it takes a lot of time to produce the content and all of that, but regularly. You know, people need to get on sort of your schedule and know, okay, she posts about 2 to 3 times a week. She posts about 3 times, 4 times a week on Instagram, whatever. Because that's how you're gonna grow. If people are like, they like your feed on Instagram and they see that you haven't updated in 2 months, they're not gonna follow you to begin with probably, but even if they do follow you, they're kind of gonna forget about you by the time you come back. So get on a regular schedule and also be consistent about when you're responding and things like that too. Like I said, you might want to block off some time every month or every week to reply to all of your comments. I can't keep up with my comments on every single video all the time because I'm busy throughout the week, but I make sure that on Sundays or on Mondays, usually at the beginning / end of the week, I go through and I sit down and I have my cup of coffee in the morning or whatever, and I reply to all the comments or as many of them as I can from that week. So get on a regular schedule, block time off for that stuff too. And then the last thing is just noise and clutter. You don't necessarily, and I'm saying necessarily because again, like do as I say, not as I do all the time, but you don't necessarily want to post like a picture of your sandwich and then like a picture of an amazing, beautiful makeup look that you did. Like you want to be semi-cohesive, and there is such a thing as lifestyle for sure, but especially for most businesses, I've seen this, honestly, you'd be shocked, you guys, how many businesses will be like, can you do a social media audit for me? And they have like a beautiful, again, I'm using a store example, you know, they have beautiful like models and clothing or whatever. And then they have like this horrible quality iPhone picture of like the owner's dog or something like that. Like it still has to be cohesive. It might not be a picture of the model, it may not be a picture of whatever, but why don't you put like your employees modeling some new clothes that you had got from your store, or at least something that's taken with a camera or like a decent quality picture. So you have to be smart about making sure that you're coming up with a good mix of content that is cohesive and that makes sense together. Like I said, I'm not the greatest example, but I try to make sure that they're at least all themed the same way. So one thing that I do is I edit the same way for every single picture for the most part. So I use my little recipe of editing apps, which include ViscoCam and Afterlight, and ViscoCam and Afterlight I think are the 2 that I switch between, or layer on top of each other. And I try to edit all my pictures so they look like there's a similar filter, similar kind of colors and things like that. And then they're also about the same thing. Like if you click on any of my pictures, no, they're not all about travel. They're not all about Detroit. They're not all about food, but those things are all related. Somebody who's interested in a blog about Detroit is probably going to want to know about the food in Detroit, and is probably going to want to know about the places that you can travel to by car from Detroit. So they're all similar, related. Why can't I talk today? They're all similar, kind of related things. I wouldn't want to post about, you know, Detroit and travel and food and then like, I don't know, conspiracy theories. I mean, unless a personal account again is different. You can do whatever you want. You can post about conspiracy theories in Detroit, whatever, but I'm kind of trying to share my brand on my Instagram account. So that probably wouldn't be the place for that, you know? So be smart about the types of things that you're posting, and there's nothing wrong with having a personal account if you do want to put that more noisy stuff on it. That's kind of Twitter for me. Twitter is pretty personal. I just post like whatever. So make sure that, especially for the visual platforms like Instagram and YouTube, that you're curating things. Why did my TV just turn on? That was really scary, and I think that's my cue to go. So that's all that I have for these 5 social media mistakes that I see all the time. Let me know in the comments down below which ones that you've made or that you're currently making. If you guys need help with anything, let me know in the comments down below too. I can try to help you out via comment, or you can also always head over to my website to see like my coaching options and calls and things like that I do have available. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.